Good morning, students. This is Susan May Flores Espedido, your oral communication in context teacher. Oral communication in context, Quarter 2, Module 8. Speak up with confidence. Let us learn. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to use principles of effective speech delivery in different situations. Have you ever imagined how the world would be like without speech? If you try to record your day-to-day activities, which activity occupies much of your time? Yes, you're right. We spend most of our time talking. Sometimes, we admire eloquent and confident speakers in public or in television. Some may have trained formally. Others may have learned through exposure and experience. If you undergo proper training either formally or informally, you can be good and effective speaker. Before we proceed to our discussion, let's try to answer Activity 1. Activity 1. He/One. Direction. Read the given scenario, then write your speech on the next page. Use the activity sheet. You are a medical frontliner who devotedly serve COVID patients in your assigned ward. You witnessed their struggles in fighting the mysterious disease. Some died and others are still under medication. Your task is to prepare and deliver a 3-minute speech via national television to convince all people to stay home and to observe strict safety protocol at all times in order to flatten the curve in your country. Let's proceed to Activity 2. After writing your speech, make a video of your own presentation. Set it to your A. Assigned teacher, B. Classmates to provide feedback based on the following questions. Number 1. What do you like most about the presentation? 2. How do you think can the speech be improved? Write your answers on the blank provided for. Activity 3. After completing Activity 1, tick or put a check mark to the column that determines how often you practice what the statements say. Do this as objectively as possible. Remember that there are no wrong answers. You can use your performance in your previous activities as basis in completing this task. Number 1. I use an appropriate type of speech delivery. You may check usually, sometimes, seldom, never. 2. I am aware of different speaking situations. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. 3. I use conversational style in my speech. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. I establish and maintain eye contact effectively. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. 5. I adjust the volume of my voice depending on the size of the audience. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. Number 6. I vary my speed. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. 7. I modulate my voice. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. 8. I use poses effectively. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. Number 9. I pronounce words correctly. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. Number 10. I avoid mannerisms or distracting movements. Usually, sometimes, seldom, never. The grand total is 30 points. Now the scoring goes like this. For usually, 3 points. The score is 28 to 30. Level of proficiency, advanced. Scoring, sometimes for 2 points. Score, 25 to 27. Level of proficiency, proficient. Scoring, seldom, 1 point. Score, 23 to 24. Level of proficiency, approaching proficiency. Scoring, never or 0. Score, 21 to 22. Level of proficiency, developing. Score, 20 and below. Level of proficiency, beginning. Now, let us study. According to Stephen Lucas, 2011, author of The Art of Public Speaking, a good delivery means that you are capable and able to present your message in a clear, coherent, and interesting way. Good delivery conveys the speaker's ideas clearly, interestingly, and without distracting the audience. Most audiences prefer delivery that combines a certain degree of formality with the best attributes of good conversation: directness, spontaneity, animation, vocal and facial expressiveness, and a lively sense of communication. This time, we will identify the types of speech according to purpose. Are you ready? Types of speech according to purpose. 1. Informative. Provides the audience with a clear understanding of a concept or idea. The lectures of our teachers are the best examples of this type. 2. Entertainment. Amuses the audience. The humorous speeches of comedians and performers are the best examples. 3. Persuasive. Seeks to provide the audience with acceptable ideas that can influence their own ideas and decisions. The campaign speeches of the running candidates for government posts are the best examples of this type. Types of speech according to delivery. 1. Extemporaneous. Description. Speaking with limited preparation. Speaking situation. When you are assigned to report a topic in class. Advantages. Helps you look confident. Disadvantages. Less time to plan, organize, and rehearse. Tips. Create an outline. 2. Impromptu speech. Description and rehearsed speech. Spoken conversationally. Speaking without advanced preparation. Speaking situation. Firstly in class or during job interview. Advantages. Natural speaking. More focused and brief. Disadvantages. tendency to be disorganized. Tips: state your main point briefly. Number 3. Manuscript. Description: reading aloud a written message. Speaking situation: reading the rules and criteria in a context. Advantages: guided speech. Disadvantages: lacks audience rapport or connection. Tips: rehearse the speech over and over again until you sound natural. 4. Memorized. Reciting a written message word for word from memory. Speaking situation: when you perform a stage play. Advantages: exact repetition of the written words from memory. Disadvantages: speaker might forget his or her line upon overcoming her or his stage fright. Tips: rehearse the speech over and over again until you sound natural and feel confident. Activity 4. Let us practice. Directions: look for samples of speeches according to purpose, one for each type, and analyze them. Consider the following guide questions. Number 1. Speech to inform. A. What is the topic? B. How is the topic made concrete or visible to the listeners? C. What new things does the speech aim to teach the listeners? 2. Speech to persuade. What is the topic? What does the speech aim to change? C. What modes are used to arouse the listener's emotion? D. Is the topic appropriate for the occasion? E. Is the goal of the speech to entertain or achieved? Describe the attitude of the audience after the speech. Now let us practice more. Activity 5. Number 1 question. How do these 3 types of speeches, according to purpose, compare in terms of purpose and characteristics? And now, you have completely answered all the given tasks. This time, let's try to complete the given sentences to process what you have learned from the lesson. 1. There are 4 types of speeches according to delivery. These are: 2. I need to establish and to maintain eye contact to my audience so that 3. It is important to follow tips for effective delivery in order to Activity 6. Directions. Based on the type of speech, according to delivery shown on the next page, write additional information in each category. The first one has been done for you. Extemporaneous. Description: delivered conversationally. Speaking situation: when you are a candidate in any clubs or organizations that need campaign speech before a voting public. Advantages: engages the audience. Disadvantages: uneasy, felt nervous for the beginners. Tips: use facts and real-life experience as your examples. Now you continue number 2, 3, and 4. Number 2, impromptu. 3, manuscript. 4, memorized. Activity 7. Directions. Interview a local official or a student government officer on his or her experiences in public speaking. Campaign speeches, introducing a speaker, giving welcome address, closing remarks, or inspirational talk. Then, with a minimum of 300 words, Make a written report about the responses. Use the activity sheet on the next page. Please observe safety protocol when conducting your interview. Wear a mask and observe social distancing. You may also use social media like Facebook, Messenger, or video call in conducting this activity to avoid physical contact. Direction. Read the given tips for effective speech delivery below. Number 1. Start your speech by standing straight and balancing your weight. 2. Use a conversational style more often. 3. Look your audience in the eye so they will feel that they are part of your speech. 4. Adjust your volume to the size of the audience and the venue. 5. Pronounce and enunciate words correctly. Now it's your turn to list down more techniques and tips for effective delivery that the speaker needs to develop. The first one has been done for you. Number 1, practice in front of people and get their feedback. We could continue answering number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let us reflect. Reflect on what you have learned after taking up this lesson by completing the table below. What were your thoughts or ideas about the principles of speech delivery prior to the discussion of this lesson? I thought, blank. What new or additional ideas did you learn after taking up this lesson? I learned that blank. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned something today.